Alright, the next section we're going to talk about today is order of operations. Now, remember I told you on our first video that in the introduction, that I was going to tell you when things are important and not so important. And I know if there's any other math geeks out there, you're going to be shocked when I say this and go, no, but yes, this is not that important. And let me explain why before anybody has too big of a fit. In reality, as you're moving forward doing algebra, you're going to get to the point where it's not necessary that you go through the order of operations. What you're going to do is you're going to get rid of what's weird looking, what's complicated, what's ugly is what I call it. And you don't really follow this real strict order of operations that you probably learned in middle school. If you didn't learn it, I'm going to teach it to you now. And I'll tell you what it's for and why the one thing you actually need to know it for. But the first thing is, in more complex algebra, you really kind of don't use it. And then the other thing is, you do use it, but it's not so cut and dry, I guess is the easier way to say it. And then the other thing is nowadays we use our calculator, and the calculator has built in where it analyzes problems for order of operations. So this is how this idea works. There's an order that you're supposed to do a problem in. And in reality, the problems that are the order of operation problems, you will never see anywhere else. Because in reality, there'll be grouping symbols that will tell you what to do first. So this is one of those things, you learn it, remember it, there's going to be 1 or 2 questions on the ACT and the SAT, and that's why you need to know it. Other than that, we could just skip this, because it's a little out of date, because your calculator will do it for you. And the other thing is, in reality, you don't really follow this. So, I don't know if that helped or hurt. But just remember, this is not going to be that big of a deal. I'm not going to spend too much time on this video. So the order of operations is, they used to say, please, please, my dear Aunt Sally, or now it's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It was please, please when it was that you do math problems in this order, parentheses, and then they used to call exponents powers. Remember I told you that in the other video that there's a little bit of discrepancy. Like, not my generation, people a little bit older than me would call exponents powers, but now we know it's a power expression, whatever. And then, so it was please, please, my dear Aunt Sally, but now it's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, because it's you first do what's in parentheses, then you do any exponents, then you do multiplying and dividing, whichever comes first, left to right. So it's not multiplying, then dividing, it's multiplying and dividing, left to right, then adding and subtracting, left to right. So that's just how you do it. When you have these problems that are very complex order of operation problems, if you put them in your calculator exactly, your calculator will do it for you. And that's how I want you to do it on the SAT and the ACT, because your calculator does not get nervous, and you might. So type it in, hit enter, see what the answer is. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's do some examples. Okay, I need my eraser. Okay, gotta keep my eye on the time. If I go too long, I'm finding the camera shuts off. So it's, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or some people say aunt. I say aunt. Okay, and here is a problem. It says, evaluate the expression when x equals 4, and our expression is 3, I'm going to go, it's x squared. I'm kind of cheating. I started writing my 4 in there. Plus 1, but now I'll substitute 3 times 4 squared plus 1. So what order do you do this in? First, parentheses. We don't really have any parentheses except that. Nothing to do within the parentheses. Then exponents. So the next thing I do is I do 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, which is 16, plus 1. Then I do multiplying and dividing left to right. So I would do 3 times 16 is 48, plus 1 equals 49. Now, I want you right now, you can press pause if you have to put this in your calculator. 3 beginning parentheses is above the 8 on your calculator. 4 in parentheses squared. You can push that button, or you could do the up arrow 2. If you do up arrow 2, make sure there are 4 buttons that look like this. Make sure you use this one and arrow over so you get out of exponent land back down to what I call numerator land. And then do +1, and it should give you 49. I want you to see that your calculator knows how to do it. Okay, here is another one, an order of operation problem. So I'm going to leave some people call it PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, here is another one. It's 32 divided by 4 squared minus 1. And see, in reality, you would never get this problem. It would be given to you with grouping symbols. You don't. The only time you see these problems is when you're doing the order of operation chapter. All right, so we're going to square this first. Okay, well, there are no parentheses, so next is exponents. We're going to square this. 32 divided by 16 minus 1. Now multiplying and dividing is right here. Set 32 divided by 16 is 2, minus 1 is 1. Dun, 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 we got the right answer. Dun, dun. So these are fun. I want you to try putting this in your calculator exactly like that. 32 divided by 4 squared minus 1, and you should get 1. I want you to see your calculator knows how to do this. And it's the first reason that we have come to that you should love your calculator, because it's a great one. Okay, here's another one. I want you to do it on your calculator too. 24 minus 8 minus 6. Okay, so this is all subtracting. So we're just going to do it left to right, the adding and subtracting. 24 minus 8 is 16, minus 6 is 10. Sort of a messy 10. Okay, let's do another one. You could also put it exactly like that in your calculator and it could do it. 15 times 2 divided by 6. Okay, so multiplying and dividing left to right. 15 times 2 is 30 divided by 6, I was writing the answer, equals 5. I got too excited. I wanted to write the answer. All right, let's do another one. Watch my time here. Okay, we've got 16 divided by 4. No, it's plus 4. Can't read that little writing. 16 plus 4 divided by 2 minus 3. Okay, so there are no parentheses or exponents, so we do multiplying and dividing left to right. And right here's our dividing. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so it's 16 plus 2 minus 3, which equals 15. Now, you will never see this problem except in order of operations. Otherwise, that would be given a parentheses, and it would have that grouping symbol, so you would know, so it would have clues to show you what to do. Okay, so a fraction bar is a grouping symbol. You do it with the parentheses. So here's the example. 7 times 4 divided by 8 plus 7 squared minus 1. Now, when you put this in your calculator, put whatever's in the numerator and whatever's in the denominator in parentheses. Your calculator has a hard time deciding exactly what's getting divided here. But no calculator, 7 times 4 is 28. And now we're going to do this squared first. 7 squared is 49. And now multiplying and dividing, and now going just left to right. 8 plus 49 is 57, minus 1 is 56, and then that is if we reduce it 1/2. Now I'm going to teach you how to do this on your calculator where you don't have to use the parentheses, but we're not there yet. I'll do it later. We don't have to learn everything today. All right, let's see if there's something else. I already talked about your calculator knows how to do it. All right, that's it. So order of operations, you'll have a few problems to practice with this, but remember, not so important. In real algebra, we don't really think about it. I'm going to teach you how to do the real order of operations later. It's just an SAT problem. It'll be on there, but you're going to be ready for it. Math is fun.